need to go somewhere? Don't take a flying lawnmower. Take an Uber!
Good morning and welcome to Jordan Declan and my presentation about Uber and their company. We're going to analyze it and tell you a little bit about them and the economics behind it. Just to tell you a little bit about Uber, Uber is a platform where those who drive or deliver food can connect with riders, eaters, and restaurants. And where, if you're in a city that Uber is available, you just can use the Uber app to request a ride or a meal from the restaurant. And then a driver can accept it if they are nearby or want to take your order or drive. And they will go pick the food and bring it to you or come and pick you up. And in the app, it says the estimated time of arrival, where they're heading to your pickup or drop-off location, and just any information you need to know about the person coming to pick you up. Just to tell you a little bit about the history of Uber, Uber was originally created by Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp. It was launched in San Francisco in 2009. The original idea originated in 2008 at a tech conference, but the company itself wasn't launched until testing happened in 2009. Uber was originally called UberCab, but because of a cease and desist order from the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, they changed their name to Uber.
Alright, this is Jordan, and I'm going to take you through some of the strengths for Uber. So starting off, it's already a pretty well-known brand. So when you look at this slide of all the logos, generally most people are going to know all these logos. So it's not like a brand new company starting up from the bottom, hoping they earn zero economic profit in the long run, right? They already have some decent number of customers that they have because a lot of people know about it. So that's a good thing. So unlike taxis who gotta produce their own cars and maintain them and hold them in a storage place that is just another fixed cost waiting to happen, Uber doesn't actually have to produce all that much because when they hire a worker, they come with a car, because you can't be an Uber driver without a car. It's not gonna work out very well for you. So the fixed cost for Uber is so low because, again, they don't have anything physical to produce besides just the app, but the cost for that isn't very much. And so theoretically, Uber has an unlimited supply of resources because, everyone brings their own car. So it's well, I guess we don't need to do anything. So another strength for Uber is that there's very low stress on the drivers. It's really convenient for them because when I took an Uber, the guy was already on his way to get food, and then he just happened to see that there was a person on his route that needed a lift. So that it's really flexible for them. And then for safety concerns, if they go to pick someone up and then they look like they're gonna murder them or something like that, they can reject them, and that's totally okay so that no one gets hurt. And then there's also no full-time drivers. You're not gonna be a full-time Uber employee. That's not how this works. So there's not very much responsibility on them, yet all of them together make a successful company. So now we're gonna look into the weaknesses of Uber. So this industry is kind of unique because in an oligopolistic market structure, there are high barriers to entry, except for this one, there's not really, because you don't need to produce anything besides an app. So there's not much stopping another firm from growing. That being said, it's hard to beat Uber, I guess, because it's so simple that it's why would anyone pick the new one over the one that already exists and is reliable? So another weakness for Uber is that there's very low company loyalty. because there's not much human connection involved. When you sign up to be an Uber driver, you just kind of sign up and then you get checked a little bit, but there's no like face-to-face interview like with a resume. There's none of that. So if there's an incentive from another company who's arising with a higher wage, then there's not much stopping Uber drivers from transferring to another company. And the last weakness for Uber is that there are safety concerns. I mean, there's safety concerns for everything, but let's be honest, you're getting into a car with a complete stranger. So, as you can find out from a quick Google search, there's been some incidences where the Uber driver is not actually an Uber driver. But the thing is, on the app, they tell you the license plate number, what the car looks like, all of that, so you can confirm that it's actually your Uber driver. But the thing is, today, people are getting really lazy, and if someone tells them that they're Uber driver, they believe them a lot of the time, and then there are instances when that was a mistake. So when they say anyone can apply to be an Uber driver, they're not kidding, anyone can. So that is one concern for Uber, but like the majority, it's fine. But you know, you could be that one person.
Hi, I'm Declan, and I'm going to talk about Uber's competitors. Uber's biggest competitor in the whole ride-sharing app industry is going to be Lyft. And Lyft drivers often work for Uber, and Uber drivers also often work for Lyft. There's kind of a cross-pollination, and they'll work for whichever one gives them the most profit to work for. Other than that, it's the municipal taxi services, the yellow cabs. And considering the market power that Uber and Lyft have, and the limited product differentiation, it's a ride-sharing app, there's not much product differentiation. It's a very oligopolistic market structure. Now, onto the outlook for Uber. We are currently in an unprecedented global pandemic, and we all need to be careful during these trying times, and apparently getting into a rolling box with other people where you can breathe germs onto each other is not a very safe practice, obviously. So business has been poor for Uber for the last year or so that we've been in quarantine. However, as the vaccine rolls out and as society opens up more, business will grow, and we expect business to grow. Now, our recommendation with Uber is to start buying as society starts opening up. That's because Uber is a very inelastic good. It doesn't have many substitutes, and as the Biden administration and the vaccine rollout comes along, it'll allow buyers to have the ability to buy again, which we haven't had for the last year. Demand will go up for both the riders and also the firm, as they will have a demand for drivers and they'll be willing to pay more. And also the demand will also go up for the complements of Uber. I mean, imagine the reasons why you would need an Uber. Let's say, you know, bars. I'm not 21, but I imagine the people who use Uber are. And airports, if you need to get to like an airport or something, you now have the ability to as society's opening back up. Thus, you'll have a need for Uber. Thank you.
So now, here's some fun facts about Uber. Or rather, one big fun fact. So in 2017, Uber tried to make self-driving cars for the company. And so before I spoil the ending for what happened with that, here's a short clip kind of introducing self-driving cars from Uber.
Look close enough, and you'll see it's all around you. On your kitchen counter, under your feet, behind closed doors, and in your hands. You see, advanced technology was part of your daily routine long before requesting this ride.
For selfie?
Yeah, hop in.
Hold on a second. She said her name before he did. So, and he was just like, yeah, Sophie. So, I mean, this is an ad, but just again to the safety concern, make sure they know your name before you tell them.
So it seems like the road less traveled is actually one Uber has been on for over 1 million miles now. Today, we have hundreds of self-driving vehicles out in the world, and they're pretty hard to miss. First, you'll notice the 360-degree system of cameras, lasers, and radar that scan the environment and make sure the vehicle's aware of everything around it. Like the stop sign up ahead, that woman crossing the street, and the cyclist coming up behind them. Then there's Ryan. He's what we call a vehicle operator, and he's here to make sure the vehicle does exactly what it's supposed to do. But before Ryan could hit the road, he had to hit the books.
Today we will be talking about how the self-driving vehicle classifies objects.
He's one of hundreds of vehicle operators who've passed test after test in the classroom and out on the track. These tests teach operators and vehicles to expect the unexpected, like swinging car doors, pedestrians, and unusual roadways. Once they know every inch of this track, the vehicles head out to collect data for our team of mapmakers, who verify each lane line, road sign, and traffic light in the vehicle's path.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Except that it's not. So, as you probably imagined, this didn't go too well. So in 2019, there was a fatal crash of a woman walking her bike across the street, and a self-driving Uber car hit her and killed her. That's very sad. And the annoying thing is that the driver, or not the driver, but like the guider person who's supposed to, make sure the car doesn't do anything like that, was watching an episode of The Voice when this happened. So yeah, that's kind of really sad. So anyway, I personally don't see how self-driving cars could ever be a thing, because in that video we saw, it's like all the science is there, but I mean, it only takes one time for it to like not be worth it at all. So personally, I'd like to see where that goes. Or I guess I don't want to see where it goes. I wish they just wouldn't do it. But anyway, thank you for listening.
Here is our Works Cited page with all of our sources and websites and things that we used for our research. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We had a lot of fun making it, and we hope you learned something.